yarize mfite inzara yarize mfite inyota yarize banyica oh mama
In April of 2006, the European Union of Jewish Students and the Belgian Association of Rwandan Students organized a joint mission to Rwanda in partnership with the World Jewish Congress Future Generations Division. Together, Jewish students from Europe, South Africa, the US and Israel, mostly third-generation survivors of the Shoah, and Rwandan students living in Belgium, many direct survivors of the 1994 genocide, went in search of understanding. The vision: to share the memory of the Shoah and the Tutsi genocide, and to learn from one another. Only by continuously educating about the uniqueness of the Shoah and also the exceptionality of the Tutsi genocide can we sensitize the world in order to speak out when other minorities are at risk. This is the beginning of a long-term process called Shared Memories, Collective Action. 12 years ago, during the genocide, almost 1 million people lost their lives. Nearly 84% of Rwanda's Tutsi population were killed. A process of hatred began in the late 1950s, in which the Tutsi minority was viewed as cockroaches in need of eradication by their very neighbors. After many years of persecution and massacres, the extremist Hutu government in 1994 looked for the final solution. Today, Rwanda is a country under reconstruction, developing, growing, and trying to cope with the consequences of the genocide with courage. People are seeking attention in order for their painful story to be heard, hoping that our mouths will voice their story in our countries. The survivors, both Jewish and Tutsi, have emphasized that the denial of their genocide is as painful as the genocide itself. That is why we have to tell their story. In Rwanda, many organizations have been created to aid survivors. We visited some of them, like Avega, the association which helps widows of the Tutsi genocide, or OCM, dedicated to providing homes for orphans who are now heads of their households.
mwakoze voyage yanyu mukazi mu Rwanda no kugira ngo wenda mbabaze niba muri urwo rugendo rwanyu mufitemo objectif yo kujya kubwira abiwanyu yaba leta yanyu ndetse yabana abiwanyu bose ibyatubayeho ndetse n'ingamba mwafata kugira ngo bitazagira handi biba.
She really wants to know if in coming here we will take their message home with us to all of our countries so that this will never happen again anywhere else. She wants to express that we all take what we've seen here and take the message as far as we possibly can and tell.
Rwanda has many memorials, places where huge massacres occurred, places which now carry the vivid memory of crimes against humanity. Bisesero, a place where a large concentration of Tutsis used to live. Their numeric strength gave them the courage to organize themselves, to try to resist a tragic death. For 2 months they fought with sticks and stones. The French army, who had promised to protect the Tutsis in the hills, left and came back only after the massacre had occurred. Of 50,000 people, not even 1,000 survived. Murambi, a former technical school. It is hard to conceive that here 45,000 people were massacred, buried later in mass graves. As we walked around, Emmanuel, a survivor, told us his story, the story of Murambi, the story of a place where the Tutsis thought they would be protected, and where in 2 nights, most of the refugees were massacred. Emmanuel lost all of his family here. He was wounded and fled into the nearby hills, where he watched as the French army buried the mutilated bodies, and afterwards played volleyball on top of the mass graves. The graves were finally reopened and the bodies given a proper burial, but a few thousand of them were mummified in the very position they were killed, with the expression of death and pain on their faces. Someone asked, how did God let this happen? A recurrent question for Jews after the Shoah. A question without any answer other than, how did we, creatures of God, let it happen? We also met many government officials and discussed the history and the political situation of the country. The officials suggested that the Jewish people dealt with the Nazi perpetrators and trauma in a manner which can serve as a model for Rwanda. They asked that Jewish organizations like the WJC and EUJS should help preserve the memory of genocide and initiate genocide prevention educational programs for future generations. It was a powerful message.
Your visit comes at a very crucial moment for our country, a period when we commemorate the 1994 genocide.
I think our group is quite singular and special in its mission. It is a group of Jews that feel that the need and necessity to be here. So already sometimes the path is the aim, and on the path to come to Kigali, to be sitting at this table right now, I think already a lot has happened and we've achieved a lot. And all of us that are here, as individuals and as the organizations that we represent, are feeling some sense of responsibility towards what has been happened.
All of us from different communities will play our part together with different collaborative efforts with other groups. And I want to promise you that at least the World Jewish Congress, as well as in a collaborative effort with the European Union of Jewish Students and the Rwandan students and other groups, will definitely continue this struggle to prevent future atrocities and future genocides. It is our role, it is our challenge, and it is our task to do that. And I am quite certain that if we will do that together, we will succeed for the sake of future generations.
But this trip, this project, will lose its meaning if we cannot find a way to make the expression "never again" more than just a cliché. Listening to those testimonies, seeing those horrors, walking in the streets of Kigali, we were overcome by incomprehension and rage. Why did the world close its eyes to what was happening in Rwanda 12 years ago? Why, even while we were watching it live on CNN? This unique and vitally important mission proved to us that we were not the last. This trip was the beginning of a long-term investment in remembrance, in teaching about the unique place of the Shoah, and in taking action, striving to prevent more crimes against humanity in years to come. The European Union of Jewish Students, the Belgian Association of Rwandan Students, and the World Jewish Congress Future Generations Division are committed to it. Returning home, we carried the message of shared memories, collective action, each one in his and her respective country and community. Our trip to Rwanda was the beginning of a journey. It is a journey that every human being should make. We ask you to take the first step with us.